Welcome back to the channel, dum-dums. Let's talk some basketball. The 2023-2024 NBA regular season is off to a phenomenal start. It's been a lot of fun so far, and the rookies this year are no exception to that. So I figure, why not rate them way too early in their NBA careers? Let's give them a letter grade, right? My experience in the professional coaching world of basketball, I believe, gives me the ability to rank these guys off of their small sample size of an NBA career and tell you whether or not I think they're going to be successful. We're going to be covering the lottery and then anybody outside the lottery that stood out. So yeah, let's dive right in. Where else would we start but Victor Wembanyama? Victor Wembanyama, we all knew was going to be the first pick going into this year's draft, and he has lived up to the expectations and then some. It's not too hard to see that his skill set is just absolutely phenomenal, right? We see him running here. We see him able to shoot. He's athletic. He's coordinated. He can pass. He can dribble. He can really do it all. The numbers look pretty solid to start the year too. It's a pretty exciting thing. I know his three-point percentage is sub 30% right now, but he's taking a lot of attempts. He's taking good shots. You know, that is the shot that people are trying to give up to him at the moment because he's making every other shot he's taking. But I'm pretty confident that three-point shot's going to come around. It looks fine. A lot of times these rookies take a bit to adjust to the new system. Once the game slows down, that shooting becomes a little bit easier. But overall, I think Wembanyama's living up to the hype of being that generational talent that we all say. I mean, I just love this passing right here. I love when they can get him in the middle of the court here and he can be a facilitator. In some of his more recent games, I've seen him make cross-court passes with such accuracy and power. It makes me so excited for the offensive versatility, that he holds, and his defense is just ridiculous. I hate that I'm seeing players still trying to back him down when they get like underneath the basket to try and put the shot up. Like they just seem like determined to try to make it happen. Just don't do it. Just don't. You're just going to get blocked. It's fine. It's like going up against your big brother. I give Wemby an A+. There's a lot of room to grow, but he's more exceptional than any rookie is at this point. It's Wemby all the way. Next on the list is Brandon Miller. Brandon Miller came into this league to be a shooter, and I love his game. We saw when he was at Alabama all the different offensive skill sets that he had. I got nervous when the Hornets were the team that took him. I'm not saying the Trailblazers would have been a lot better of a franchise for him to be built around, but I just don't know if I trust the personnel here to help him develop. So far this season, he's getting you about 13 points a game. It's not efficient at all. Like I said, I don't worry about that too much with rookies, especially the really young ones like this, and especially when you're on a team like the Charlotte Hornets, where there's not a ton of great basketball being played. Like look at these points that he is scoring. He has to manufacture all of it. Like, did you see any actual motion on that at all? But look, his athleticism's crazy. His shot form is absolutely perfect. Maybe I shouldn't say absolutely perfect. It's a little bit low at times, but like look at this offense that they're running. Like, what is he supposed to do in this system? I don't know. But I hope that he gets the chance to kind of be the number one scoring option after this year. I do think him and LaMelo work well together, but I'm glad that they're trying to take the limelight off him a little bit because obviously he had some of those issues at Alabama. So I'm going to give Brandon Miller's start so far, I'm going to give it a C+. That's where I want to go for Miller, but I'm pretty confident that his game is going to continue to grow. All right, the third pick, Scoot Henderson. So Scoot Henderson is a guy, I'm a very big fan of, and I think he's going to be just fine in the league. He's off to a pretty poor start. We've all seen that one graphic of him, like, shitting his pants or whatever in his game so far. But, yeah, no, it's been a rough start for Scoot. Efficiency is about as low as it can get. He's shooting like 9% from three at the time that I'm recording this, so that's pretty rough. The field goal percentage isn't any better. He's getting under 10 points a game. He's getting you around 5 assists, which is nice. But honestly, I think what you saw right there is part of the reason that he's having trouble succeeding. What I want to look at here, you see Scoot trying to play with DeAndre Ayton, and I think DeAndre Ayton just gets in his way. Like, especially when you got guys like Thibault on the court too, and Jeremy Grant. Like, those aren't guys to help open up the floor for him. And I mean, we know he's not really a shooter. I think he's more than capable long term, but being a rookie point guard is the hardest thing to do probably in the NBA. There's just a lot of growth you have to go through, and I don't think they have the roster around him right now to help him be a successful basketball player. Can he take better shots? Sure. Like, there's a lot of room for growth, but I especially don't think having DeAndre Ayton next to him is the right way to go about it. it. When you have an explosive guard like that, you like to have the rim open. You like to have a rim runner or something like that. DeAndre Ayton loves to work in the mid-range for whatever reason. I still don't understand his play style at all. But no, I think that's hindering his ability to get to the rack and be effective. I gotta give him a rough grade though for the current one because it has been rough. Like we can make our excuses, right? As a coach, I mean we totally get it, but he's getting a D- for now. The 4th overall pick and the first part of this twin set, Amen Thompson. Now, Amen Thompson has been hurt for a little bit. I believe he might be still injured, and he's another one I'm going to have an excuse for why he's not maybe playing so great to start. He's getting you around 7-ish points a game, a couple assists. He's shooting poor from 3 and from the field. It's not as bad from the field as like Scoot is, but it's not good either. But I love the Thompson twins. I absolutely love their game. I think the reason Amen is struggling a little bit more than Asar is, and we'll talk about Asar, is because Amen's the one that's supposed to have the ball in his hand, and the Rockets have a lot of guys that like to have the ball in their hand, and he's been primarily playing a lot of off-ball so far with the Rockets. But like, man, just look at that finish. That finish is nuts. I have a lot of high hopes for them, especially defensively. I think they're going to be defensive juggernauts. But I would love for the Rockets to try and find a way to incorporate him more in like the ball handling duties, because I think you see a lot of it here. Like that's a rougher pass, but there's a lot of good instincts there. I think he understands basketball. He sees the flow, and man, he just glides around the court so effortlessly. And when you have someone like that, I'd rather them have the basketball in their hands. I mean, in athleticism, 11 out of 10. So for the time being, I got to give him probably a C+ for overall effectiveness, but the ceiling is so high for Amen. On to the other twin, Asar Thompson. All right, so we're not even going to bring up the three-point percentage. We're not going to talk about the field goal percentage or anything. It's so easy to talk about the downsides of all these rookies and everything. Let's talk about the plus. He's getting you over 10 points a game, and he's getting you over 10 rebounds a game. He's playing the 3, which is more his normal position. Amen was always the ball handler, by my understanding, and Asar was kind of always more of the off-ball player. So it worked out that he went to Detroit, where they have guys like Jaden Ivey, Killian Hayes, who I don't know why he's a starter in the NBA. I don't quite understand. But then Cade Cunningham, right? Those are guys that are going to have the ball a ton, and he gets to play the off ball. We see it right here, right? Get the nice pop here. He's taking a decent amount of threes because everybody's leaving him open, and he's not converting them right now, but that's fine. You know, that's something to work on. But his defense is incredible. His instincts are incredible. Look at this. Like, follow, athleticism, 11 out of 10, right? Just like his brother. He's just in the right place on a basketball court in all times. And those are things that you can't necessarily teach people. These are the things when, like, if I'm out scouting or something and I see a guy like this, I'm offering him a scholarship whether or not he can shoot or not. I can teach you how to shoot. I can't teach you to understand the game of basketball like Asar does. And I think he just ended up in a better spot than Amen did to fit his play style. But I have been so happy with him so far. I don't know if he's a long-term, like, small forward for them. I think he's more of a 2, but I love it. My video ended a little bit early there, so I had to rewind it a little bit. But we're giving Asar Thompson an A- to start this year. Let's talk about the Magic's rookie, Anthony Black, now. So Anthony Black, the way I viewed him coming in is he's a poor man's Josh Giddey. He's a guy that's effective when he has the basketball. He's a bigger guard, plays good defense, has a good sense for things, right? But the thing with being on the Orlando Magic is, and I don't quite understand why the Magic took him, is he doesn't get to have the basketball. Like, there's so many other people on this team that get to have the basketball before Anthony Black. And so I don't know what his effectiveness is from here. Like, I'm glad that he's out here, like, hustling and everything, and he's trying to get some shots. But, like, you know, he doesn't take many shots during the game. He doesn't get many assists because he doesn't have the ball, and he's not getting a ton of rebounds because he's a guard. You know, I'm glad he's crashing. I'm glad he's doing stuff like this. And I hope this doesn't come off like I'm berating Anthony Black or anything. I'm very confused by the Magic's drafting of him. I don't think the fit makes sense at all unless they're planning on moving one of the guards. But I mean, you see here, like, there's some athleticism in him, but it's hard to make a judgment on him because he doesn't really get to do much, and that's not where he's effective. But man, the hustle's there and the defense is lively, which is great. The Orlando Magic, I believe, are like the 4th best defense at the time of recording this, and he's a part of that, you know. But you know what, he's a rookie. You don't necessarily have to get a ton of time as a rookie. I don't love his shooting form. It's a little odd, but that's why I compared him to Josh Giddey. I think they're similar players in that sense. But let's give the Anthony Black so far, we're going to give him a C, just because the boy don't get to do anything. Getting back to the topic of Victor Wembanyama, here is his former teammate, Bilal Bilal Koulibaly. Koulibaly just had a couple of good games, actually, so that's encouraging to see. And, you look at Koulibaly's numbers, been pretty effective so far. The field goal percentage is at about 50% right now. The three-point percentage is around like 43%, and he's taken like 2 or 3 of them a game, which is all I can really ask for out of him. He's not expected to come in and be a shooter. He's expected to come in and be a versatile defender and athlete, but like, see that shot form there, we're going to rewind a couple seconds there, but he drops the ball way too low to shoot it. That's going to be something he has to fix. But I mean, he's converting right now, and that's great. I mean, we talk about the things that they're doing well right now, and that's something he's doing well. You feel bad that he's on the Wizards. This is any lottery pick, though. They go to bad teams where their team's just kind of a dysfunctional array of nonsense right now. I'm a big Jordan Poole fan and stuff, and I like Kuzma's game a lot, but man, having them on the same team is not the way to go. But anyway, back to Koulibaly. Koulibaly's been a nice off-ball player for them. Teams are really sagging off him right now, so it'll be interesting if his numbers increase, if people find a way to incorporate them more into their defensive game plan, and then see if the results still follow from there. But I don't know. It's hard to say with the Wizards right now because everything's so dysfunctional. But, he doesn't have a lot of ball handling responsibilities. We'll see if something like that increases. But the defensive numbers are great for right now, and he's a nice young athlete. The Wizards finally took someone with a little bit of upside in the draft. So we're going to give the Wizards, we're going to give them a B- for Koulibaly right now. I don't know if I'm rating the rookies of the teams at this point. I'm just out here saying shit, man, and y'all can just keep watching it. All right, on to Jarris Walker. So we're going to keep this one pretty brief just because he really hasn't played very much. But you know what? That's what we get for doing a way too early ranking of these rookies and everything, right? So yeah, Jarris Walker hasn't been involved too much just because he's been injured. He's only getting you about 3 points a game right now. He just really hasn't shot the ball much at all. They're kind of still working him into the rotation. He had those injuries he was dealing with. But what we've seen out of Jarris a little bit is a lot of good defensive instincts, which is nice. You see some athleticism here, some ability to run the floor. He looks like he's really trying to observe and things. It looks like the game maybe is a little bit fast for him early, but I totally get it. The shooting form looks pretty solid. I love this little like hesitation thing that he's doing out on the perimeter here, the hesitation step by. People don't really know his tendencies yet. He's a rookie. That's a move that I just like to utilize a lot, so I just love to see it. The floater, I've seen the floater a lot out of him actually, so that's a little something to watch for him. It's nice that they have a couple shots to go to early in their career, right, that are easy and effective shots and moves. So, hey, Jarris Walker, for now, you get a C because you haven't played much. Alrighty, we're on to Taylor Hendricks, and you're noticing right now these are college highlights, and that's because the man has appeared in one NBA game so far. So Taylor Hendricks hasn't earned a rotation spot yet. That's kind of what the Jazz are implying. There's a lot of people at his position. They've assigned him to the G League along with their other rookie, Bryce Sensabaugh. So that's just where he is to start. And you know what? That's okay. Like, if you got to grind your teeth a little bit and work your way into the roster spot, that's okay. It is unfortunate that they used the 9th overall pick on him. There's a lot of athleticism in Hendricks, and he's a very versatile defender. He's a very rare athlete in that sense, and it looks like he has a lot of tenacity around the rim, which is great for a player like that. He's got to probably get bigger, stronger, things like that, and the Jazz just have a lot of forwards, so there's not a ton of room for him. But you would also think that because there's a lot of those better forwards around him, that those are going to be good guys for him to learn from. But I see him as a guy that could be a really nice switch defender one day. When you have all this other length that the Jazz have, that could end up being a big winning point for them. But it's just going to take a while to see what Hendricks becomes, I guess. But yeah, it's a little unfortunate that they used the 9th overall pick on him. So for now, I'm going to have to give it a D. Onto the Thunder's rookie, Cason Wallace, who I was a little confused by at first. I was like, they're taking another guard. But Cason's been really nice for them so far. He's been really good defensively. His efficiency's off the charts, which is impressive for a rookie point guard, right? But the reason this rookie point guard doesn't have to struggle as much is because he doesn't have to have the ball, because Giddey and Shea have the ball the whole game, right? Or other guys, right? And so it's been nice that he kind of gets to play a little bit off ball. He just gets to be a hooper. He's only taking the best shots. At the time of recording, he's shooting like 63% from the field and something above 40% from three. He's only taking like one a game or something like that. But hey, he's making the shots he's taking, that's an effective thing. At the end of the day, he's kind of just flowed right into the Thunder system, which has been nice. He's not making mistakes that are like blatantly obvious, at least, right? Like he's making rookie mistakes at the end of the day, but he's right where he needs to be on the court. Hasn't been a problem on the court. The plus minuses say that he's fine when he's on the court. So, you know what? You got a good one. And if he can continue to grow with the, oh my God, I didn't even see that play before. Let me see that again. Ugh. All right, get up, young fella. Hey, athleticism's there. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. We're going to give Kaysen a B+ for being the 10th pick and not getting in anybody's damn way here on the Thunder. We love it. Also, side note, while we're talking about the Thunder, I'm not talking about Chet today. Just it's not where he's supposed to be. I'm talking about this draft class, not necessarily the rookies. Chet is awesome. Chet's going to be awesome. I didn't think he was going to be that awesome at first, but he's looking like he's going to be pretty good. So shout out Chet. Second Magic rookie, Jett Howard. Again, was confused with both of the Magic's picks. I thought the Magic had a real opportunity to really better themselves this year, and luckily they've been great to start the season. They're not great in the way that they've built their roster, though, and like I said, I think they just really messed it up in the draft. I'm not sure why they took the guys they did. I'm not saying they're bad players, but I didn't understand the fit at all, and maybe they're just going to get the best players, but I don't know. But Jett Howard hasn't played in many games yet. This is preseason film. I think he's only appeared in like maybe one game or something. He's scoring like 0.3 points a game, which I guess means he has to have played in like at least 3 or something. He's playing garbage time, right? He's supposed to be a shooter, a little bit of a defender, and he's actually a pretty good passer because I watched a bit of his college film. He does see the floor pretty well. But right now, there's no room for him or like Anthony Black on this roster, so I'm not quite sure what the plan is with these guys long term, but at the end of the day, you're getting a lengthy wing that can shoot, right? And I mean, he gets the ball up pretty quick. He sets his feet really quick there. That's great to see. But yeah, not much to judge off of there. And I don't know. You can't help but feel like they could have done a little bit more with these picks. Somebody would have either wanted them via trade or something where you can help Mo Wagner and Banchero get a little more help early, or you just take someone that fits it a little bit more. I think a Derek Lively or something would have been great for this team. But hey, I don't know, man. I don't run the Magic's organization. I'm going to have to give this one a D as well so far. And again, this isn't to say he won't be successful one day, and I'm not saying I don't see the talent, but you don't get to play right now. All right, on to Derek Lively. I couldn't wait to talk about this one. Derek Lively ended up exactly where I wanted him to, and that was in Dallas, right? He's the exact player they needed. They just needed a rim-running, tall guy that can grab rebounds and block shots, and that's what Derek Lively does. I think he only scored like 4 points a game in college, and he's actually scoring like 8.5 right now. That makes sense. He scored a lot more points in the NBA, and that's not because college players are better defensively. I don't ever want to hear that argument from any of y'all in the chat. You're ignorant and you're dumb. Derek Lively's in the perfect system, and he's playing the role perfectly. He's shooting like 73% from the field right now, which is nuts. He's only taking the shots that he's given by Luka and Kyrie or whoever else is handling the ball, which is exactly what he needs to do. He's being a rebounder. He's being a great athlete. He's running the floor. This isn't a great example of him doing because they're doing a little bit of early drag there, but like, look at this. Ugh! You love that. He's in the perfect situation. I think he's going to have a great career because of it. I hope they hold on to the kid. He's already a starter for them, and I'm thrilled for him. I'm giving the Derek Lively pick an A. Oh my God, I love seeing big men that can do that. Yeah, Derek Lively's an A. All right, on to Grady Dick. Grady Dick he's at least been in the rotation for the entirety of like his career so far, which is a good sign, right? The Raptors obviously see something in him, and I'm not saying I don't see something either. I think what you're seeing right here, I think in this game, this was probably his best game. He had like 16 points or something. This is what you see him doing, right? He's quick, he's a great shooter, and he's actually an above average athlete too, and he's got good size. Getting a shooter that can move a little bit too and play a little bit of defense, hopefully, that's great. It looks like he already understands exactly where to be on the court. Seems like a smart basketball player. As far as his efficiency so far this year, it hasn't been very good at all, but he's a rookie, right? I give him time, but I see a lot of the good things there. His form looks consistent every time, and that's the most important thing for these shooters. So hopefully Grady Dick continues to develop. Right now, I'll give it like a C+ because he looks like he knows what he's doing out there. The results will come over time. You give these kids some time, all right? Let's talk about the guy nobody's talking about as much right now, Jordan Hawkins, and he needs more attention, man. I'm so glad he's out of college basketball because he never belonged in college basketball. He belongs on the NBA court. One, because the game is just more suited to him. But two, this guy doesn't need to be worrying about classes or anything. This dude needs to be hooping because his ceiling, I think, is really high. Off to a great start this year. He's getting you about 13 points a game. He's been starting games recently, and he's shooting pretty effectively. The numbers, I believe he's at like 35% from the arc right now, which is pretty solid considering he's taken almost 8 a game. So the numbers are there. He's going to be a big time scorer. We love to see it out of him. He's playing with a lot of guys that are taking the attention away from him, which is extremely beneficial to him. He doesn't even have to handle the ball a ton on this team. He can literally just be a shooter like this. I have to wonder, like, is his purpose in this league going to be like a scoring 6-man type guy, like a Lou Will or something like that. But for the time being, you're getting 13 points a game as a rookie. When there's a bunch of other scorers on this team, you're doing good things. The Pelicans made a great draft pick here. I'm glad to see he's effective early. I'm giving this one an A as well. Shout out to Jordan Hawkins. I didn't expect this out of him. All right, last one I'm going to talk about here is Keontae George. As opposed to his other Jazz counterpart, he is actually getting minutes early, which makes sense. There's more of a rotation spot for him, and he was taken just outside the lottery with the 16th pick, but he's been a quietly solid player to start his career. The efficiency numbers aren't great right now, but we know with these young ball handlers, that's what it takes, right? It's figuring out the NBA game, adding some more moves to your arsenal, understanding new counters, but I think there's something here for sure. He was a heck of a scorer when he was at Baylor. He's clearly very capable of being a scorer. Pretty athletic, too. I can see his handle probably needs to get a little bit better. I feel like the jump shots where a lot of his shots are coming right now. And I think it'll be interesting to see where he fits in positionally because he's a little bit undersized to be a 2, but he's not quite a 1, which means you usually have to be a really good scorer to find space on the court for you. But he's going to get the chance to develop here, and I wanted to give him the time because at the end of the day, you're getting 7-8 points a game out of him as a rookie. And, I mean, the guy they took over him early in the draft, and Hendricks isn't playing at all. So, you know what? Let's give one of the Jazz rookies a little bit of a chance to shine here. As far as the rating goes, let's give him a C-. I almost forgot to give the rating. I'm not going to lie. I came back to the clips. Y'all almost caught me. You're not going to get me this time, though. We'll give him a little, like, C-. Let's give him a C-. And that's what I think of the rookies so far this year. Let me know in the comments if I missed anybody. I'm sure y'all are going to call me out for somebody. I don't know. The rookie class this year, they've been impressive, really impressive at the top. And then there's been some real low points. There's not a ton of in between going on. But hey, all these guys have a lot of potential. I hope that they all find success. It's fun to see new talent entering the league. And hey, let me know what else you guys want me to dive into. Really appreciate it. Hope you guys have a good day, and we'll see y'all later. Bye.